Good evening, everybody, and welcome to RAMP, Real Access Motivates Progress, live Wednesday night podcast. We are so excited to be with you again tonight. We have a great show for you. We have 401 Gives. So every organization, nonprofit, or anybody who wants to raise money on 401, this is the show that you want to watch. If you have any questions or anything, please put them in the comments so that we will be able to answer your questions live on air. But I'd like to introduce my guests, Jennifer and Brooke. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you very much for having us here. Super excited.
Yeah, thanks so much. Very excited to be here.
Yeah, I am so excited to have you guys. Jen, why don't you tell everybody who you are and what you do for 401 Gives? We'll do a little introduction.
Sure. My name is Jen Remis. I work for United Way of Rhode Island, which is the proud sponsor of 401 Gives, and we are very happy to administer it. I am the Director of Resource Operations in our Resource and Engagement Department. I've been with United Way 13 years now. So, and 401 Gives is going into our third year this April 1st, which is 401, an homage to our 401 area code. So we're super excited to talk about that tonight.
Oh, I am so excited. And Brooke, why don't you tell a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Well, thanks so much. I have the great honor to work at United Way alongside Miss Jennifer Remis, who is amazing. And I'm our Chief Resource and Engagement Officer. So I help to oversee all of our donor relations and corporate relations work, as well as our communications and marketing. So all of that work, including 401 Gives, lives under that team. And I have the great honor to lead it. And it is a pleasure. And we love 401 Gives is truly Jen and my favorite program of everything we do. So we're so excited to be here tonight to talk about it. I've been with United Way for about coming up on 3 years. So
wow, that's awesome. United Way does so much for our little state and around the country, actually. But we love United Way Rhode Island. I do a lot of work with them. But Jennifer, let's start off by telling everybody what 401 Gives for anybody who may have lived under a rock for the last 2 years and not understand. Let's tell everybody what 401 Gives is.
Sure. Let me, if you don't mind, I'll back up and give you a little history. So actually, a former United Way employee, Claire Phipps, I always like to give her props because she started this. She started a grassroots in 2018 Giving Day called Rhode Island Gives. And she, as we know what Rhode Island is, not 6 degrees of separation, 1 or 2 degrees of separation. And she reached out to all her nonprofit friends and asked them to share with all their nonprofit friends and set up a Giving Day. She set it up in June, had a fantastic logo, communication templates. There was not one area where everyone could go and make a gift. Everyone used their own website. So she did a fantastic job. We don't have a lot of metrics on that. And then just coincidentally, our CEO, Courtney Nicolato at United Way, came in, original Rhode Island native, but she was in Texas at the time, came in from Texas and said, hey, they do this amazing Giving Day in Northern Texas. What do we do here? And we said, well, funny you should ask. And we brought Claire in to talk to her about the Giving Day. And Claire said, please, I would just love for United Way to take over the Giving Day. And that's kind of how it started. And we have another former colleague who said, hey, why don't we try to think of a different name? She said, why don't we call it 401 Gives? And that's kind of how it was born. So what 401 Gives is, it's a certain age group that will understand this. I call it your modern day digital telethon. So it's all virtual. And what it is it's a 24 hours of giving with just saturated marketing for all the nonprofits. Any Rhode Island 501c3 or any nonprofit that serves Rhode Island residents is willing, and if they're able to, they can register and fundraise. And we can get in a little more of the details because there's so many things that we have available for nonprofits to be successful. But the first year was 2020. We said we had no idea. Let's, reach out to all the nonprofits. Tina, that's actually where I met you originally. We had an open house pre-COVID. And we ended up getting 300 and my mind is like 366 nonprofits to participate. And our goal was $1 million, which as Burke and I laugh because I was like, $1 million. We raised $1.3 million. So it was just an amazing, amazing day. And the next year we did it again. And by then the nonprofits were starting to say, all right, this is pretty good. And we can talk a little more about how COVID affected everything. But the next year we had 422 nonprofits participate, and we had a 75% increase in donations to the nonprofits at almost $2.3 million. So,
wow.
Yep.
That's awesome. And just so everybody knows, 401 Gives is 401 is our area code, and it's also the giving day is April 1st. So April 1st for one, and 401 is for Rhode Island. So putting that all together, because it took me a little while to put it together when I first, like, I didn't get it, but now I do. So just in case anybody out there is like me, that is what it all stands for. Brooke, tell us a little bit more of what you do and how 401 impacts the nonprofits here in Rhode Island.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for asking about that. So I work on the part of our leadership team at United Way. And we have spent a lot of time over the last couple of years, especially in COVID, really redesigning our strategic plan and our path forward for the next few years and what we want to do to impact the community. And so we launched a new strategic plan about a year ago, actually just January of 2021. It's a 5-year strategic plan. We call it Live United 2025. So it's going to take us up to our 100th anniversary in 2026. It's got 4 pillars to it, which I won't go through here in their entirety, but one of the key pillars is Invest United, which is about supporting our nonprofit sector. We believe so strongly in our sector and the power of our sector and the value that our sector plays in the state. The state of Rhode Island leans so heavily on the nonprofit sector to do all of their programming, whether it's out of school time programming, whether it's healthcare issues. They're constantly turning to the nonprofit sector to support and deliver the programming that they need to the people of Rhode Island. But they don't support the nonprofit sector appropriately. So one of the things that we really identified in our strategic plan is our Invest United pillar, which is about supporting the sector, and 401 Gives is one of the key strategies within that pillar. So we're so excited to be what we'd like to call we power 401 Gives because we say 401 Gives powered by United Way, which is about us putting the muscle into it, really, frankly. The marketing dollars, the staff time. Jen is just an amazing force when it comes to 401 Gives and dedicates a substantial portion of her time, even though she's got an entire full-time job aside from this. So we put a lot of effort and resources into this because we believe so strongly that when the nonprofit sector thrives, we all do better. And so it is our commitment to make sure that the nonprofit sector has resources that they need. And 401 Gives is one of those key elements of that. And I can speak to other key elements like you're going to start to hear soon. I'm very excited this week. You'll start to hear the first stages of our engagement with the community around a nonprofit resource center. We're going to build a centralized organization in the state that we're going to co-create with the community, a centralized organization for the state that is going to help support the nonprofit sector broadly. All of these resources are all necessary to make sure that we are all kept strong and healthy for the future. We were the organizations that kept the community online when COVID came down. And so the story that I like to tell about the genesis of 401 Gives, I always appreciate Jen going all the way back to the Claire Phipps days. She always likes to give proper credit where it's due, which I appreciate. But the story that I like to tell is I came in a little later than that. I came in the summer of 2019, and they had the seed of an idea at a table, and they said, we're going to do this next April, and what do you think, and what should the goal be? And out of my mouth came $100,000, and I thought Jen was going to $1 million, and I thought Jen was going to fall over. And I was like, but come on, like, we can do this. You go big or go home. And if we really rally together, the community is incredible. And we can pull this off. So we had plans, we had committees, and we did all this work, and we spent months and months and months doing all this work. And then as we approached March of 2020, you know, the chatter that was in the community around COVID, and people were starting to get really nervous, and a lot of the local nonprofits, all of their fundraising events were starting to collapse. And then I'll never forget, it was March 13th, 2020. I mean, that was the day that everything sort of escalated, and we all went inside and sort of locked down. And we had people calling us for weeks, from March 13th to April 1st, almost every single day, calling us to say, please don't do this. What are you doing? You got to stop this. Everything's collapsing. We're all shutting down. Don't do this. And we said, you know what? This feels COVID proof. We feel like we need this. We need to keep this online. And we did. And we're so proud that we did, because I feel truly like it was a bright spot on that day in a really dark time. It's been scary for a long time, but those first couple of weeks were really scary. And this was a moment of light in our community. And we raised $1.3 million from 7,500 people who were like, yes, I want to support our nonprofits. And it was incredible. So anyway, that's a little bit about 401 Gives and why United Way wants to, keep.
And what people didn't realize is when the world shut down, the nonprofits didn't stop. It's where the nonprofits stepped up and thrived. It's where the nonprofits took over. I know us, being in the disability community, we stepped up for every mandate that was made. We needed to make sure that the disability community was covered, because contactless delivery, leaving food on my front steps, how am I supposed to get it in with my wheelchair? If I'm blind, how am I supposed to know how many bags they're leaving me out there? Or, they're putting up all of these plastics and barriers. Well, now I couldn't reach the counter beforehand. Do you think I'm going to get anywhere near the counter now in my wheelchair? So where COVID thrived, so we needed that 401 day because we didn't shut down. We needed that money. We needed to raise the money. Jen, how are other ways that COVID impacted all of our nonprofits here in Rhode Island? Because like I said, I know we thrived through the pandemic because we had to step up. And I know a lot of others did. How did it impact 401 Gives or other nonprofits?
Well, actually, what we did the first year with the Rhode Island Foundation, we started a COVID-19 relief fund, and part of 401 Gives, which we made that decision probably a week before 401 Gives started, was we had an additional at checkout, just like any shopping, there's a gift basket on 401 Gives when you go and give to your nonprofits of choice. We asked people if they would like to give an additional gift to help with COVID relief. So that we actually brought in an additional $109,000 that first year for the COVID relief fund, which then in turn with the Rhode Island Foundation and money that was coming in through United Way for the relief fund was put back out into the community, because there was so many people that nonprofits are trying to keep not only trying to help the community, but trying to keep their doors open. Because, Brooke, I'm sure Brooke can elaborate more on that. But
I think, when COVID happened, I think exactly to your point, both of you, but the nonprofit community stepped up when everybody else was shutting down. You think about an organization like Meals on Wheels that all of a sudden had their population double overnight, as all of the seniors were so isolated. There were absolute endless needs for the nonprofit community. At United Way, we run the 211 information referral line. We took 255,000 calls in that first year, of COVID, and which was a huge spike from 180,000 calls the year before that. And we take the most per capita because people needed so much help, and that goes for every community, and every nonprofit really stepped up. Everybody made it happen, and so it was really incredible. So 401 Gives was a huge. It was a huge opportunity for nonprofits, right, in the right moment. And then we saw great success again in the second year, because I think people finally, people also had a chance to take advantage of it a little bit further and a little bit deeper. So we went from 1.3 million to 2.3 million. We think this year, with a little bit more opportunity, the nonprofits have even greater momentum to hopefully raise. Where our goal this year is $4.01 million. We're trying to be a little cute about it.
Yeah, be a little cute.
Okay. Jen, I'd like to talk a little bit about the different types of nonprofits that we have in Rhode Island, because we have macro nonprofits to the really large nonprofits. Does any one of the nonprofits not qualify for 401 Gives, or what is it that they need to do to get to be part of 401 Gives?
So they simply need to be a 501c3. And when they register, they'll upload some information just to verify that with our partner. We partner with GiveGab. They do giving days across the country. So if you're listening to this outside of Rhode Island, there's a good chance you may have a giving day near you. But that's what they need to be, 501c3 in Rhode Island or serving Rhode Island residents. And they register. There is a small nominal registration fee. It's $35 prior to February 15th and $50 after that. So if you are a nonprofit listening, get in before February 15th so you get that discount. And we really did the nominal fee. It does help with some marketing costs because marketing is very expensive. But it also gives the nonprofit a little bit of stake in the game. The first year we did not have any fee because it was new to all of us and we really didn't feel it was fair to charge a fee. But we did find there were a lot of nonprofits that signed up and really didn't raise any money because like most everything, you get out of it what you put in. I feel like some of the nonprofits thought we were going to raise the money for them, and we will do everything possible to help you be successful. Other than reaching out to your potential donors. But that's pretty much why we added the registration fee. And then from there, we can go into how we want you to be successful. There's so many tools and templates and trainings for the nonprofits that not only are fantastic for 401 Gives. You mentioned, we talk about the small, the macro size nonprofits, the people that are just volunteers, or maybe they have one or two staff, but it will help for 401 Gives fundraising, but it will also help the year through about stewarding your donors and getting peer-to-peer fundraisers on 401 Gives and just communications and templates for emails and all types of things. If you go to 401gives.org, it actually is all there on the menu. There's a nonprofit toolkit. We just had a training today on how to navigate the dashboard and how to get all your donor information, which is strictly the nonprofit's information. We don't use any of that donor information. So, and
it's really easy to use because I'm not tech savvy at all. And I was able to put the little logo in on with my logo and post it and stuff. What I will ask everybody to do is do your research between now and April 1st. Do your research on the nonprofits, because don't always go to the big ones. I'm not saying that the big ones don't need the money, but search out some of the smaller ones or the medium-sized ones that are doing good in the community, because they all need your funds. They all need your help, and they all have a different clientele. Like RAMP, we deal with the elderly and the disabled population. There's some that deal with food distribution, but the ones who deal with food distribution doesn't really help the disabled community because they're inaccessible, or there's food allergies. So, or you got the Dare to Dream Ranch that takes care of the veterans. There are so many different ones out there that you can find a niche in any one of them, but make sure you're searching out and you're helping out the smaller ones as much as you're helping out the larger ones that get a lot of funding elsewhere. Remember, some of the smaller ones, this is their only chance to really make a big difference. Brooke, tell us on some of the pluses of joining 401 Gives other than doing the fundraising on your own.
Yeah, I think I want to just say what you just shared is exactly right. I think one of the best things about it is that there's a great opportunity to find new organizations where we all are familiar with some of the large anchor organization in the state, as I like to call them, the Crossroads and the United Ways and the American Heart Associations, the really big ones, and we need your help as well. But there are so many great little organizations that don't have the opportunity to be heard or get their marketing out there because they're not spending dollars in that way. And so they need your attention. And 401 Gives, the great part about it is it gives you a chance to go and find them. It gives you a chance to go and land on them and the spillover effect. So someone can come and donate to one organization and type in a category and find 3 more that do a similar thing. I think that's what's great about 401 Gives. And because it has this great search function, you can go in and you can type youth, or you can type Woonsocket, or you can type arts, or whatever, a couple little search keywords, and different organizations will come up. And so it gives you that great opportunity. But what I love about 401 Gives, and people often ask us a little, or compare it a little bit to hashtag Giving Tuesday, if you're familiar, for about 10 years, Giving Tuesday's been around, which is an idea of like after Black Friday, you have Cyber Saturday or Cyber Monday and Small Business Saturday and Giving Tuesday. But on Giving Tuesday, it's very hard for any individual nonprofit to get heard and to give a call to action that's easy and reliable for people. What I love about 401 Gives in Rhode Island is that we really have this collective voice where there's one call to action on that day. I don't care if it's your channel here, Tina, or if it's some other press or whatever, it's the same call to action for everybody. Go to 401gives.org and find somebody to make a donation to. It's that simple. It's one simple website. And the great part about this website, our amazing partner, GiveGab, has made it this seamless experience. So it's very retail, very easy, hopefully very accessible. Tina, you let us know if there are any accessibility issues that we need to be aware of.
I do.
We want to make sure we're being very inclusive, of course, but it's this really easy website that makes it a really frictionless experience, and anyone who cares about our community in any way or any issue can come and just type it in and be like, I want to learn about the elderly, veterans, the arts, farmers markets, whatever it is, come on in and search for it and find somebody to make a donation to, because all the nonprofits need your support. And you'd be amazed. And this is my one thing about Rhode Island that I don't love. I love this state. I'm a transplant. I grew up in New York City, but I've been here 25 years and I love it. But our worst stat right now, we have some not good ones, but this one is that we are the 46th least philanthropic state in the country. People don't give here. We don't support our nonprofits. We have upwards of 3,500 really quality eligible nonprofits that qualify as charities in the state of Rhode Island. These are the Boys and Girls Club down the street, the organization that runs your farmers market, the community theater that you like to go to on your anniversary, the dog shelter down the road, whatever it is, like all of these nonprofits that make our quality of life better. They rely on individual donors. A lot of people think, oh, they're getting corporate money. They're getting foundation money. Tina, you getting a lot of corporate money?
Because we're a macro nonprofit, we're not getting any money. We're not even eligible for a lot of the grants and stuff for the federal funds that are coming out because we're so small, but we help over 50% of the population right now between the elderly and the disabled. How do we stay alive? You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I want to just let your watchers, I'm not sure, because watchers, audience know, this is my first podcast, sorry. I want to just let them know that when it comes to charity, 70% of philanthropy is individual donors. 70%. Charities rely 70% at minimum on individuals to make up their bottom line. 5% is corporate donations. 5% of philanthropy nationwide. They're not filling the pot. So everybody gets all worked up all the time about, go get some corporate sponsors. Corporate sponsors are impossible to get. The money's not big when you do get it, and it comes with a million purse strings. We need individuals to step up and help support the passion and missions that mean something to them. So hopefully people will support.
Yeah, personally, my favorite thing about 401 Gives is Giving Tuesday is right smack in the middle of holiday season where people are worrying about getting Christmas and getting food on the table and Thanksgiving where they don't have the extra money. 401 Gives is right before the absolute last tax day, but a lot of people already have their taxes back. It's going to be your first tax break because if you donate to a 501c3, they can give you a letter and you can write it off on your taxes. So just remember that this could be in the middle of April, in the middle before anything really happens, a nice chunk of a donation to a nonprofit, get your letter and you can write it off on next year's taxes. So look, you're 1 year ahead of your next year's taxes that you just got your taxes. So give a little bit of what you got, give a little bit back to the ones that are keeping Rhode Island actually going. Jen, what are some of the prizes and stuff? Because I know there's matching and stuff like that.
Yes,
for some of the nonprofits.
love talking about the prizes and matching gifts for the nonprofits. So it's adds a little bit of fun to the day, as well as a little competition, not that much competition. But so there are, we have several sponsors. Brooke, okay to say we just received a presenting sponsor in the Pepito Opportunity Connection. So we're very excited about that, to have them new this year. We also, for the third year in a row, have FM Global. I know you're asked prizes, but these are the people that are helping the money. So I want to give a little love to them. FM Global and Blue Cross Blue Shield are also our WAVE sponsors. We got to have a Rhode Island theme. And then we have a matching gift from Hope Global, as well as a $50,000 matching gift from Rhode Island Foundation. And I'll circle back to that in a minute. And then this year we'll definitely be getting some returning sponsors, but we've confirmed with a new one, the Realtor Foundation of Rhode Island. Cox Communication is back, as well as we have some in-kind prizes. So Ocher Way is giving a promotional package. They do did a lot of promotional items, as well as one of our marketing partners, Nunez Company, the People's Agency, is giving a marketing package as well. So to get back to the Rhode Island Foundation, because this is one of the, and then I'll explain a little bit about the prizes. The Rhode Island Foundation is a $50,000 match. We haven't 100% confirmed if we'll do it the same way we did last year, but the last 2 years, starting at 6 a.m., any donor that makes a gift, it's capped at $500, and that's per nonprofit. So they could give to multiple nonprofits, and it would be matched if the money was still there, would be matched. So the first year, again, including us, the nonprofits were like, okay, how does this work? And the $50,000 went in, I'm totally blanking. I want to say it was under 6 minutes.
Yeah, 6 minutes the first year.
6 minutes. Yep. Went to over 100 nonprofits. This past year, as everyone knew what it was, and we promoted it with the nonprofits, the matching money, and we have it down to the second and sometimes the millisecond, went in 63 seconds. We actually had, even some of our own colleagues were like, I got up, I made my coffee. I figured at 6:05 I would make my gift to my favorite nonprofits and it would be matched. And they were like, the matching money was gone. So, we may reconfigure some of that this year, and we do have some more matching gifts thanks to the Pepito Opportunity Connection. We'll be able to offer some other matching gifts. So we're super excited about that. So, and these are unrestricted gifts for the nonprofits. They can use it however they wish, which I know is super important. The other things are prizes, and we will, thanks to feedback from the nonprofits, we will do them slightly different this year. And we do have small, medium, and large size categories of nonprofits this year, whereas in the past we had just small and large categories. But what the prizes are, essentially, I'll give you a few examples. There might be by 8 a.m. if you are a small nonprofit and you have a minimum of 15 donors, then you're put into a prize pool to win an additional $500 or $750. So it's really a great way for the nonprofit to advertise to their donor base, hey, we need 15 donors by 8 a.m. so we can be eligible for this prize. And it's just a great way to win some additional money. And there's other ones that we have the 401 prize by 4:01 p.m. If you have 25 donors, you're entered into a prize. And there's other great ones, like one of my favorites is the Board of Directors prize. So if all of your board members give a gift, and it's a $5 minimum gift, so you're not asking for a lot, hopefully they give more than that. But if your entire board gives, as many nonprofits, if you're listening, and Tina probably knows, sometimes it's hard to get your board to give. You will just simply send me the list of your board members. I will make sure that everyone gave. And then the next morning we will pick a prize. I believe it was $1,250 last year for a prize. So those are really excited. We try to do prizes throughout the main times each day, try to have them at least hourly. So very excited. if there is anyone out there that runs a business that is interested in sponsoring a prize or a matching gift, Brooke and I would be happy to talk to you.
This
That's
is a
our
great
plug.
way for a business to partner with a nonprofit or to partner and to give back without having to pick and choose.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? This is your way to give back without saying that you're for the disabled, you're for the elderly, or you're for the veterans. This is your way of a business of giving back fairly to all of the nonprofits and maybe meeting somebody new that you could work with at your business because you didn't even know that they were out there, but you get to meet somebody new when you give them their prize, and you know they're going to call and thank you for giving them their prize. So you're making a new connection. So it works for everybody along the way. So this is a win-win all the way. And the first year we were one of the ones who got the matching gifts for $100 because at 6 o'clock I made $100 donation to my own nonprofit just so I could get a matching donation of $100. So it really works out well. So all size nonprofits can get involved. But like I said, I really encourage everybody. They do videos. They have their people who join up, do videos and do marketing and get the name. Do some research. Look around. Maybe if you donated to a bigger one last year, donate a smaller one this year. If you did a smaller one last year, maybe switch it up. You know what I mean? Like, check it out. Do something different. Shake it up a little bit. And again, maybe you'll meet somebody new or you'll learn about a new nonprofit that could benefit you in the long run. And that's what it's all about. We're a small state. Let's face it. Everybody knows a guy in Rhode Island. I'm sure you're connected to a nonprofit that you don't even realize that you're connected to a nonprofit in some way, shape, or form. So do your research and look around. Don't just give to the first name that pops up. Do some research. Look around. See who's out there. And like I said, shake it up a bit. Don't always just give to the bigger guys because they can get funding elsewhere where some of the little guys can't. So, you know what I mean? Mix it up a little bit. We're nearing the end of the hour. I want you guys to give me your full-on take of why somebody should participate in 401 Gives. Brooke, I'm going to make you go first on this one.
Sure, thank you. I'm happy to. I think the in the clearest, simplest way, it's just easy, right? I believe so passionately people should support nonprofits. I know sometimes it can be challenging to find the right one and to figure out how to do it. We have made this so easy for you. And if you can't figure out how to come to 401gives.org and hit the donate button, I don't know how to make it any easier for you to figure out how to support the community. So I just hope that people will really consider, what aspects of their life is touched by a nonprofit. I guarantee you it's something. I guarantee you it's the park you like to walk in on the weekend. It's this after school program that your kid likes to go to. It's where your parents go and hang out at a senior center or an Italian club or something like that. Like, it's wherever. Like, nonprofits are everywhere in your life, and as Tina said over and over, we all need your help. The little guys need your help. It's really, really important that people consider donating. It is $5 minimum. There are some fees associated with it, credit card fees. Those are totally normal, as with anything you're going to do online. E-commerce comes with merchant fees. We can't get around that yet, but our experience with it is that last year, I think it was Jen, 91% of
92%,
paid the fees for the nonprofit. So you can pay, there's like a platform fee. So you'll see some of that. So a $5 donation may, if you pay the fees, turn out to be a little bit more, which we hope you'll pay the fees so that the nonprofit doesn't have to pay the fees. But if you don't pay the fees, it's just a $5 donation. Anyway, the point is, I hope that you'll consider supporting your local nonprofit. We are in this for all the nonprofits. We're not here to tell you to donate to United Way. We are here to just tell you to donate to somebody.
Jen, give us your take.
All right, so I'll give you, if you didn't ask me, but I'm going to give you a take as being a nonprofit and joining and also donating. And I hear your awesome dogs, Tina.
The grass must be moving.
Yeah, the grass must be moving. So being a nonprofit, it's part of being a collective movement, part of being, making money that day. We've had nonprofits that said, I raised half of my yearly budget on that day, and they are just amazing. Also, being a nonprofit, you get to speak to other nonprofits. We actually have 2 panels coming up. One's next week, to talk to the other nonprofits that have been successful in the past and get information from them, because I love 401 Gives and I have ideas, but I don't have every idea. So it's part of networking with the nonprofits that will go beyond April 1st, and you can make friends and reach out to them if you have questions. As far as being a donor, it's exciting. There was actually a Twitter post that said, move over April Fool's Day. Move over April Fool's Day. Rhode Island is now 401
has claimed
Gives
401 Gives. Like,
yeah.
It's not April Fool's anymore. It's 401 Gives.
We had people say this so.
Yeah, play a joke on somebody, make a donation.
Yeah. Yeah. We ain't fooling.
Ramp would welcome that. You can play a joke on us all day. Just make a donation.
Yeah. You can, take a tagline, Tina. Nobody's done it yet. We ain't fooling it. It's
exactly.
Donate to Ramp. Yep.
And my favorite part of 401 Gives is, if you're an anti-vaxxer, you don't need to be vaccinated to donate. If you don't like masks, you do not need to wear a mask to donate. If you don't like certain things, or you don't want to be around people, guess what? You don't need to be around people to click on your computer and donate. There is absolutely no one who can say that donation is a bad thing, because whether you are for it, against it, whatever, make a donation. If you want to get back at another nonprofit because they did you wrong, donate to another nonprofit. Really get them. Donate to another nonprofit and get them back. Just make a donation. Whatever your reason, good or bad, make a donation to a nonprofit on 401 Gives. Nobody can complain, because like I said, you can come up with all the excuses in the world, and you're talking to the excuse queen. I can find a reason why you need to donate to an organization. Trust me, you want to put me on that? For every excuse I give you, you make a donation to Ramp. I will give you that donation. I will take that challenge. But again, there is no reason you should not be donating. Jen, give everybody the ways that they can sign up to be part of 401 Gives.
Sure. Just go right to 401gives.org. We're in registration phase. There's a registration button right there. You'll see as soon as you go there. So you can get registered. And then in the menu bar, there's all the toolkits, and there's a lot of videos that are already there on how to work your dashboards, add your pictures, your videos, your story. But we have a lot of upcoming trainings on marketing that are a couple of them are in person, but also virtual, and the other ones are virtual. So you can sit at your laptop and learn from other nonprofits and from marketing executives. And that's what you need to do. I am always here, and people don't believe me. I will set up a half an hour Zoom meeting with you if you want to go over everything. If you just don't have the time or capacity to read through all that stuff, I will give you a half an hour breakdown, and we can strategize on your, if you say, I want to raise $1,000, I want to raise $10,000, here's how we're going to go about do it. And I will give you what I can to make you successful. So I will give you all the tools, and then you can go out and do it. So that's pretty much where you need to start. And then as soon as you sign up, you'll be on our biweekly newsletter and give you all the awesome information that you need.
And as much as everybody needs to go on and make a donation to nonprofits, here's my plea to you. Do the work. You need to put your videos out there. You need to make posts. You need to promote it. You are not annoying people. If you're annoying people, that's too bad. That's your job as a nonprofit, to put your word out there, put your information out there, have a plea, have a call to action. You need to do the work, because there's so many prizes that you can win that day. And just because you're a little macro, like I said, we fight with the big dogs, but we still do it every year. We fare okay, but you know what I mean? Put the work in, because you know what? It might be your year to be noticed, because I'm putting the plea out for everybody to donate to a small organization as well as a big, but small first, then a big for this year. I'm going to be biased because I'm small. But go out there and make a donation, make the effort, and nonprofits put the effort in. They give you everything that you need. I am technically incapable of doing most things. Jen will tell you, because I've sat on that half-hour call 2 or 3 times now to make sure that I knew what I was doing. Make sure you're making the call. They give everything to you. All you have to do is put in the time and the effort, and people will come to you and they will see all of the good that you're doing and they will make a difference. Brooke, give us some contact information for those that may need it.
Sure. So the most important thing to remember is 401gives.org. You can go there, and then from there, you can find links for everything basically that you need. Or I'm just going to give you Jennifer.Remis. Her name is on the thing. It says Jen, but it's Jennifer.Remis at UnitedWayRI.org is the key one, the other key one. Or do we also, Jen, do we still have info at 401?
We have, you can actually do, when it comes to me, 401 gives at UnitedWayRI.org. So either one will come to me, and that's also on the website on the footer, and it will come right to me, and I'll reach out to you probably that day, but probably within 24 hours, and we'll set up some time.
And if you forget their contact information, message me, because they are not just my colleagues, they are my friends. So I don't mind haunting them. I don't mind sharing their email addresses for you to haunt them well, because that's their job and they love it. They may smile through it and say, Tina, I wish you wouldn't have said that. But anyway, contact me and I will make sure that I put you in touch with Jen and Brooke to make sure that all of your answers are, all your questions are answered and you have no excuse. Again, make a donation. April 1st, do your research prior to. You are going to start seeing a ton of people who are invested in this. Learn about their nonprofits. Learn about something new. Go out of your comfort zone and learn a new thing that's going on in your small little state. Learn your state. Make a new friend. Make a new donation. It's all good. I can't say any more. Jen, final words.
Thank you, Tina. And we're super excited for 401 Gives. It's actually make your donation and then sit back and leave your window open because it is so fun. We have many people told us it's addicting to watch. There's a ticker that runs constantly. It is all day. It is fascinating.
Day long.
Yes.
It's literally a 24-hour thing, and we are obsessed with it all day long because every single dollar you're like, oh, a nonprofit is getting some money. It's so fun. It's so fun. So
you have fun with it.
What I like to say to people is you can't avoid it. We are going to saturate every channel, every device you have. You might as well just join us.
And there's nothing wrong to say that you can't give 20 nonprofits a $5 donation because $5 would go a long way for different donations. And let me tell you, you're that extra person, that donor, to put them into prize packages or prize gifts. You can watch the ticker all day. It is addicting. Trust me, I've watched it myself. Yeah. And just for a micro nonprofit to get a $5 donation from somebody that they don't know is huge. They know that they've been recognized by somebody new. It makes all of the work that we do, the thankless work that we do all year round, make all of the difference in the world. So give 20 nonprofits a $5 donation is just as good as giving one nonprofit all of the money at one time. So, spread it out, spread out the wealth, make somebody feel good about themselves, make somebody know that the work that they're doing actually is making a difference and somebody new is noticing them. Brooke, your final words, my friend.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you for having us. Thank you for spreading the good word about this amazing program. And we hope people will reach out to you, reach out to us at United Way, and just join us in some way and celebrate our amazing nonprofit sector on that day. So thank you all for having us.
It's 401 Gives. This podcast will sit on all social media outlets. It will also sit on my website, www.rampisinclusion.com. So you can go back and you can learn as much as you want to learn from our website. If you need to contact these wonderful ladies, let me know. I will put you in contact with them. But 401gives.org, April 1st, April Fools, make a donation, make a friend, no excuses. Do your good deed for the day. Give yourself a good pat on the back, because I'll pat you on the back myself, or I'll run your foot over with my wheelchair. One of the two. You never know. But It's all good. Just do something good and, be a community member and make a donation, even if it's $5. Make a donation, make a difference in somebody's life. Because I'll tell you, when we get those $5 donations myself from somebody we haven't known or touched or whatever, it makes us feel so good and seen and heard. So you can make the disability and elder communities feel good that they're seen and heard just by your $5 donation. So I can't thank you ladies enough. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know I will be in touch, and all is well and everything will be good. And I am so excited to work with you guys going forward in the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Tina. Same here.
And I just want to tell everybody, thank you so much for joining us again tonight. Join us back here next Wednesday night. We will have another fun-filled packed episode next week. And always, don't just sit there, make a difference. You too can make the difference in Rhode Island and another person's life. 401gives.org is what it's all about this week. Making sure you're learning about all of those nonprofits and make all of the difference in the world for somebody who needs it. Those nonprofits never closed down during COVID, and they will never shut down with your help. So thank you very much. We'll see you all again here next week, next Wednesday night. Don't just sit there, make a difference. See you next week.